Picture this. A massive chunk of global insurance is actually running on mainframes that are literally older than most of the developers writing code today. Maintaining those 30-year-old crumbling green screen systems, yeah, it's a massive pain point for the entire industry. So let's dive into this explainer and settle the ultimate insurance tech debate to really help you optimize your career path and, of course, your earning potential. We're looking at two absolute titans of the software industry swooping in to save the day: Guidewire and Majesco. If you're an IT professional, a developer, or a business analyst operating in the massive insurance technology sector, choosing which of these ecosystems to master is quite literally a million-dollar decision over the course of your career. Both platforms are aggressively modernizing legacy systems, and they're absorbing billions in global IT spend, but they take very, very different paths to get there.
So here's our game plan for this explainer. We'll start with the insurance tech heavyweights. Take a look under the technical hood. Jump into the cloud face-off. Map out your skills and career paths. Break down the salary showdown, and finally wrap up with making your choice.
All right, part one, the insurance tech heavyweights. Let's meet the contenders.
Right off the bat, there is a stark philosophical difference between these two systems. Think of Guidewire as a deep-sea diver. Founded back in 2001, it is the undisputed heavyweight specialist strictly for property and casualty, or P&C insurance. We're talking incredibly deep, highly configurable systems designed for the largest Tier 1 global carriers. These are the absolute giants who need to standardize incredibly complex rules across dozens of countries. Majesco, on the flip side, is more like the agile multi-tool. They're a cloud-first challenger boasting multi-line reach. So they don't just do P&C, they also handle life, annuity, and group benefits. This flexibility makes them incredibly attractive to mid-market and enterprise carriers who are just desperate to consolidate all their different lines of business onto one fast, unified platform.
Now, to put things into perspective, capturing an estimated 24% of the global P&C core systems market share is just absolutely staggering. The insurance industry is notoriously fragmented and spread out, yet Guidewire is deployed across more than 570 insurers in 43 countries. That kind of market footprint means supreme stability. You see, a Guidewire implementation isn't just a quick software patch. It's a multi-year, multi-million-dollar transformation project involving hundreds of consultants. For you as a professional, that translates to deep job security and an endless ecosystem of roles. But while Guidewire rules the traditional P&C space with an iron fist, Majesco's broader multi-line approach gives it a totally different kind of widespread appeal, especially for carriers who are prioritizing pure speed to market over hyper-customization. Moving right along to Section 2, under the technical hood. Let's look at the actual engines powering these platforms.
If you're a developer, you know the tech stack pretty much dictates everything, right? It decides how fast you can learn the system and how transferable your skills are to the wider tech world. Well, Guidewire relies heavily on a unique, proprietary language called Gosu for its configuration and business rules. It might sound like an ancient martial art, but think of it essentially as Java's highly specialized, insurance-obsessed cousin. Majesco, however, leans heavily into mainstream, universally known programming languages, primarily Java and sometimes .NET. Now, both run on robust databases, both are heavily API-driven using REST and SOAP, and both utilize modern containerized DevOps pipelines with Docker and Kubernetes. But that programming language difference, that is a massive fork in the road. Do you want to master a highly paid, proprietary niche language like Gosu, or do you want to keep your foundational coding skills broad and transferable with mainstream Java?
When it comes to organizing features, Guidewire goes incredibly deep into the complex P&C lifecycle. They basically divide the world into three massive pillars: Policy Center, Claims Center, and Billing Center. Each one is an absolute beast of functionality, totally capable of handling the most obscure edge cases a massive insurer might face. Majesco takes a slightly wider lens. They absolutely cover policy, billing, and claims, sure, but they clearly prioritize getting carriers selling quickly with robust digital and distribution modules right out of the box. Guidewire certainly matches digital capabilities with impressive add-ons and portals, but Majesco's packaging is often viewed by the market as more turnkey for an insurer whose absolute #1 goal is rapid, multi-channel distribution. That brings us to Section 3, the Cloud Face-Off, the Battle of the Architectures.
You know, cloud architecture is often the sole deciding factor for insurance carriers upgrading today, and frankly, it's where the most lucrative jobs are clustered. Guidewire Cloud is a fully managed SaaS delivery running exclusively on AWS. It's designed to bring their incredibly deep, complex P&C model into an elastic environment with continuous updates. Majesco's cloud insurer, however, was built cloud-native much earlier in the game. They have a longer, proven track record of multi-tenant efficiency. Imagine an insurer needing to launch a brand new, quirky pet insurance product in just 3 months. Majesco's multi-tenant efficiency is a massive draw for that kind of rapid provisioning. But if a legacy giant needs to migrate 50 years of convoluted auto policies and complex state regulations, well, Guidewire Cloud provides that heavy-duty, highly customized environment to get it done.
Okay, so we've seen the technical engines. We've seen the market dominance. Between the heavyweight and the challenger, where should you invest your time, your energy, and those late nights studying? Let's take a breath, pivot the focus directly to you, and talk about the actual stakes.
40 lakhs per annum, over 40 LPA, in the booming Indian IT market, which serves as the massive global engine room for these implementations across the US, Europe, and Asia. This is the top-tier architect salary bracket we are aiming for. To reach this number, you aren't just a heads-down coder. You are a highly strategic master of domain knowledge, platform intricacies, and enterprise cloud architecture. So let's break down exactly how you navigate the path to get there.
Section 4. Skills and Career Paths. Let's chart your course.
Look, mastering Guidewire is a bit of a steep climb. You have to learn Gosu, sure, but more importantly, you must understand the incredibly deep PNC data model. Majesco allows developers to jump in a bit faster by leveraging their existing Java and .NET backgrounds. The barrier to entry on the coding side is slightly gentler. But here's the secret. For both of these platforms, your ultimate unbeatable superpower isn't actually your code. It's your insurance domain knowledge. If you understand exactly how a policy binds, how a wrecked car claim pays out, or how reinsurance works, you become infinitely more valuable than a developer who just knows the syntax.
No matter which way you go, your career ladder is a journey from a tactical coder to a strategic thinker. You start as a beginner, a trainee or associate, getting your hands dirty with basic configuration and just learning the insurance domain. Then, you graduate to an intermediate developer. But step 3 is where the magic really happens and careers accelerate. You become a senior lead or cloud specialist. You step away from just writing single lines of code and you start designing integrations. From there, you move to technical lead, managing teams. And finally, you layer on advanced cloud architecture patterns to reach the top of the pyramid, the highly coveted solution or cloud architect role.
All right, Section 5, the salary showdown. Let's see what's actually in it for your wallet.
Diving into the Indian market data, early on, Guidewire's massive global footprint commands a noticeable premium. Freshers diving into Guidewire can see ranges from 4 to 7 LPA, compared to Majesco's 3.5 to 6 LPA. At the mid-level, around 3 to 5 years, Guidewire sits comfortably at 8 to 14 LPA. But then the narrative shifts as you gain experience. Because enterprise cloud skills are so universally scarce, Majesco fiercely closes the gap as you move into those senior and architect levels. At the 10+ years mark, a Guidewire architect is looking at 25 to over 40 LPA, while a Majesco architect is pulling a highly competitive 20 to over 32 LPA. The takeaway, both paths lead to highly lucrative, specialized fields that pay significantly above standard, generalized IT roles.
And finally, Section 6, making your choice. Let's look at your personalized decision matrix.
Okay, so here's your game plan based on exactly where you are today. If you're a student or a fresher, Guidewire offers the largest overall job market. Start by learning PNC domain basics and take aim there to secure your first role. Now, if you're an established Java or .NET developer who absolutely does not want to learn a proprietary language, Majesco is your fastest route to a senior, highly paid role. You can literally leverage what you already know immediately. If you're a business analyst, great news. Your insurance domain knowledge transfers perfectly to both. Just follow where your target employers or consulting firms are heavily investing. And for the architects, master APIs, microservices, and event-driven patterns. Both ecosystems are absolutely desperate for true technical leaders who can safely guide their multi-million-dollar